I'm Krzysztof Gates, and we'll talk today about measuring activities of people in social media. We have the representatives of three leading products in the Polish market to monitor and analyze social media. Michał Sadowski from Blend24, Jan Zając from Soultrender, and Kamil Bebiel from Centuan. The best thing if you will introduce yourself, but I have one question for you. The first question, if you can just very simply, because we all know that measuring and monitoring the social media is very important. We all know how important the social media is in current. But if you can tell very briefly why it is important, what is important, and for who really can get the knowledge monitoring or analyzing social media. I distinguish these two things in purpose because I know that you will do that as well.
So, hi, my name is Michał Sadowski and I'm a co-founder of Blend24. And the question was about whether what kind of companies need social media or internet monitoring platforms, and in my modest opinion is today it's almost everybody, whether it's a big corporation that has 100 products, or whether it's a small locally based company. People in the internet talk about each and every one, each and every company that it's out there. If any business has customers, they probably are active in social media, and it's good to know what they say and to track their comments, their opinions, and to engage into interaction with them. So, in my modest opinion, it's almost everyone that's out there.
Do I need it personally?
You? Yeah, you definitely. Well, you are the panel moderator, so you definitely need it. Because, for example, now I can see some people using iPhone in our audience, so they probably say, who are those jerks that are talking to us? So we probably should monitor our own names, just for sake of.
So basically, you need treat as a brand.
Yeah. Well, the great idea is that we don't necessarily have to monitor brands or products, but we can monitor topics that can give us knowledge about people having needs in internet. Like if I need repairman for my car. I wrote on Facebook that I need a good car workshop in Wrocław, and this is a kind of message that has a business potential, that can be accessed by Wrocław business owners, the car workshops that can provide you with a certain service. So almost everyone.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Janek, I work for Soultrender, and I do agree that almost everybody needs social media analysis and monitoring tools, also social listening platforms. And my brief answer is that actually you need it because what most companies do is completely inefficient. Yeah, I'm boring. Am I? Okay, yeah, we can read you something if you prefer. Actually, what most companies doing online and social media is completely inefficient, and they're losing their potential, even the biggest brands. Because they don't tailor their messages to the audience, because actually right now we're having the football tournament, Euro, here in Poland, Euro tournament. And actually it's like playing if you are a visitor. Companies are just visitors in social media. It's not the home stadium, but most of them behave like it was the home stadium. That's the big difference. And on the other hand, we have some challengers, some runners-up. They really do their best online and have big success, especially with social media. So on one hand, it could trigger your potential and move your business to the next international level if you are using this soccer metaphor. On the other hand, most of companies, especially big brands, are just losing money online, especially for social media channels. Yes,
thanks. My name is Kamil and I'm from Central One. I do agree with my friends here that everyone should like use monitoring. Yeah. And when I was preparing myself for this panel, I found this very interesting sentence that in the past we used to say that markets are conversations, and today it's totally opposite. The conversations are becoming markets for the companies, so it's a big challenge for the companies to manage the whole bus, which is already there in the internet, and the company can use the bus, the conversations that already are there in various different ways. Like Michael said already, one of such usage could be lead or sales generation, because you can find very good information about potential things that you're looking for, but also in the past, if you had a customer who was dissatisfied, what he did, he used to call the company or use the hotline, and he complained, or he wrote an email to a company. So it was the way that the company was sitting here and the customer came to the company and he was complaining, and then they were tackling the problem. Today is totally different. People are more lazy. People, if they are dissatisfied, they are complaining at the point where they are at this moment. So if I'm dissatisfied, I don't like beer here, I will just tweet my Facebook and I don't know, write a comment in Foursquare that I hate beer here because it's not good. So today the companies need to have a tool which will help them reach the customers where they are. So it's totally different.
I think that I will disagree with you that people are more lazy nowadays. We are as lazy as 100 years ago. Still, we have more tools for laziness. That's another thing. But can you be more specific and maybe give us some examples of successful and maybe unsuccessful examples of how monitoring or analyzing social media help your clients, or maybe there are some drawbacks of using these techniques. No tool is perfect, or maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the most famous example of the most famous case study of using social media monitoring tool would be probably Dell, which is a curious company because they suffered a lot from bloggers historically, because they had some issue with a pretty famous blogger, Jeff Jarvis, and they become really unpopular in the internet community, and they evolved from this, and now they are at the global stage. They are one of the leaders in social media monitoring. They have the whole floor in their central headquarters, where they do the client service, where they interact with the customers, speaking about Dell all around the world. And the great thing about this is that they've shared their numbers of sales with the world. And in 2009, which is like light years from now in terms of social media, they have made $6 million in a few months, which is for a company that had $1 billion revenue in 2009. It's not a lot, but it shows that social media can sell, and they are selling with a good attitude to it.
Okay, so you're saying that this is not only monitoring, but when you start monitoring, you have to be prepared to very fast reactions and to do actions in social media. If you're not, this will just waste money.
Yeah, because the most of social media companies, social media monitoring companies, are the technology-based companies. That we are not providing people that will sit in front of the computer and work with the tool, but we provide the tool itself. So the real value is in people sitting in front of the tool and interacting with the customers and looking into customer insights and thinking about how to change the product for better. What are the issues with the product? So this kind of things are the major values in social media.
And I see that the beauty of this is that you can react very fast.
Yeah, this is one of the major issues in social media monitoring, because historically it has been always like the media monitoring has been always like the next day after something happened in the internet or in press, the company CEO gets the press release and he can look through. And these days, one day is really too long, and the most advanced social media monitoring tools, like I guess ours, of three of us, give real-time data, so you can access the opinions and comments right away.
We have a question from the audience.
Sure.
When you say fast, when you give the answer. When you say fast is relative. 1 hour, 1 day.
It's few minutes or a few dozen seconds after original message.
Is your tool make this really possible to give answer in 2 minutes?
No, the tool doesn't give an answer. The tool collects the data that. So you know that you have to give an answer. So it gives you an alert that there is a discussion on Facebook, Twitter, some message boards, whatever, and it is up to you whether to access this data, whether to go into this Facebook discussion and to engage and to interact with customers.
But also, for example, one company receives more than 5,000 comments. How can they in a few minutes 5,000?
Dell has a whole floor of people sitting in front of PCs and interacting with customers, and it's all only in English based, with English language based customers. So it is possible. It is hard. I don't know whether they collect data from Spanish market. I guess not, but it is doable. It is definitely doable.
Yeah, maybe some tremendous examples of using the analysis of Facebook or social networks.
It's very easy actually. Most of our customers are some people performing social media campaigns, both on the agency and company side. And actually, in any campaign, they need KPIs, they need measures of efficiency, and we deliver them. What else? Pretty often they need benchmarks, and we can provide them with any other benchmarks about any other campaigns they would like. That means that they will have information of how does something work, whether somebody is efficient or not, successful in their campaign, and stuff like that. And that's actually the best way to use it, because any new thing you do, like social media marketing is something new, then you need to measure it. It's the same case as with display advertising 10 years ago. Without standards of measurement, people would not pay for it. Once there are standards of measurement, then you know what are the KPIs, and then you can pay for them.
Are you giving the same way to different comments? For example, a comment on Facebook or a comment on Twitter or LinkedIn, you give the same way?
It really depends how actually. Right now we have data from one stream like Facebook, for example. Then we're going to combine it and then we will see it. Actually, we come from research industry, so we give such weights after analysis and after storing data for a couple of months, trying different weights. That will give us a perfect combination, the good algorithm here.
For analysis, do you use what kind of software?
Our own. Good. So we're doing software. We just work on the services APIs. Yeah, we're getting data from these APIs and working them and processing.
Well, I haven't said that this early beginning, but I encourage everybody to ask questions. If you disagree or you're fascinating with something, these guys say.
Can they disagree with what you say?
Yeah, sure.
You can disagree with his.
Absolutely. I have a silly question because
in the role where Trump won this year.
Thank you for the silly question.
The question to the audience.
I confused the numbers. The tractor. So the tractor is outside. So in this space outside. In the
No, because outside there's going to be the pool manager.
which one?
Greece versus someone here. Greece versus Czech Republic.
Okay, so let's take about so we should announce it so someone
Okay, I'll repeat. The question is there a trend
instead of being
monitoring system that will monitor the trends from all discussions that are on Facebook, Twitter, etc. by scraping them and by going through them and analyzing the, for instance, taking a particular area and a few keywords, what are the trends in this area based on keywords?
Well, certainly there is a trend of like geolocalization of trends, but you can already do it today with if you choose right keywords for the things you would like to monitor. For instance, if you like to monitor Bitspiration conference, it's quite easy because we just put the Twitter hashtag Bitspiration. Then we probably have most of the tweets that will be there are from this area, yes? So yeah, I think it's about keywords, this question. So it's doable right now.
How can one exploit that in such a way that they can find the needs of people, try to develop and fulfill their needs by either developing a software program or an app that can do that. That's what I'm interested in.
So yeah, one more thing about your previous question about the trends. Our companies collect data, and you kind of talked about the keywords, but at the moment we're in, we thought that we can process this data. We have all between two of us. We have over almost 100 million mentions for thousands of brands and topics that we monitor. And this is kind of data that we can access to get the trends you've talked about. So, and this kind of trends, following your next questions, these kinds of trends can be very useful for interactive agencies that can build an ad campaign on these trends. For example, in Poland we had campaigns based on Forfeiter, which is a funny movie, a Forfeiter movie. You probably haven't heard of it, but it is pretty common that the companies are using the viral videos. They are remaking them into commercials. So this is kind of thing that's very it's very good for active agencies that can use this data. They know about the trends first. They know about the most popular movies from YouTube, the trending movies from YouTube or from any other sources, and therefore they can use it in their own advantage to build a campaign on it. Yeah, real time. This is.
Just to be short, at this moment I would disagree with the other panelists. In my opinion, at the current moment, there is no adequate data provided by the services that would allow you to geolocate. There are no geolocation stamps that are good and precise enough. It's going to change soon probably, but at the time being, for example, in Facebook in Poland, something that we discussed, like many actions are geolocated at Warsaw because due to mobile access, for example.
That's whether you asked about geolocation like based in Poland, Czech Republic, Russia, or geolocation like Warsaw, Wrocław, Krakow. Okay. So it's more specific.
There is no such info basically so far.
There's too little data.
Maybe like the big carriers like Facebook, they might have such data, but at this moment they don't share this data.
Camille, they don't, because for example so many people access Facebook via mobile and then they don't have exact stamps, but they have stamp of usually the capital or stuff like that.
Anyone fascinated yet? Any questions?
I have a question. You thought that you are collecting data. What are you doing with this data? Because the data doesn't matter if you don't analyze it and track what you are doing with the data.
At this point, so we collect data and we make this kind of number analysis. So we.
Give an example of case.
Okay, so yeah.
You have a data. What you can talk.
Okay. So you can see.
This data. No
Yeah.
data. Conclusion.
So what can you get out of the data? Yes. So you can see the trends. When was the peak when people talked about your brand, for instance? So when was the specific trends in time? You can see where people actually talked about your brand. So the sources. Who is the influencer, so you can meet the influencers about your brand, so meet the people who are talking, and then if you have this data and you read the actual conversation and comments, only then from this, going that deep, you can get actual like the deeper level of analysis and get to know what people are actually talking about your brand. So looking from the top of the data, you can just talk about the numbers and maybe trends, yes. But if you want to know what people are talking about your brand, you have to go deeper and read the actual conversations.
I can have a trend.
Yeah.
I have.
So you have the sources, trends, people who are talking.
Okay. I have a data. I have the conclusion. Is your tools recommend what should I do with this data?
Yeah, not yet. At least not mine, not yet.
You need to hire someone.
It's quite interesting because a lot of people have a lot of stuff to do. They have a lot of data, a lot of information. They have no time to analyze it. Think about it.
Yeah, we know. But as Michael said, we are like data carriers. We provide data, and our customers, for instance, are agencies or the companies who actually work on the data, and they provide reports. They provide the actions. So we are not the analysts. I mean, we are not.
You have to talk about it.
Yeah. We are. That's the difference. We are. We actually, we don't.
But you know, the typical branch manager corporation has a lot of reports. On their desk there are a lot of papers. And there is no value with this data when he not react on this data.
I couldn't agree more. Actually, that's how we perceive our mission. Actionable data and information. We don't provide people with data too much. We provide them with actionable data and information they can use for their business processes. So we have like full text reports with recommendations which are generated automatically, but also we are working on, right now we're just beta testing optimization, which will give you tips in the tool. What should you do with your Facebook campaign? Like, for example, answer comments on your fan page after 6 o'clock, you bastard. Or you should post more pictures because people are interacting more with pictures and stuff like that. Thank you.
One last sentence. It can work with Facebook, but if you're tackling the whole internet, like microblogs, discussion forum, and forums and blogs, it's way more difficult to process the data automatically. Of course, on Facebook, it's not easy, but it's doable. Yeah, it's a challenge. Maybe it's our goal in the future, but now we're tackling the data itself.
You're talking a lot about reactions to what people say, or measuring the efficiency of my campaign on Facebook, for example. Right? So this is more about reactions. But when people say what I really wonder if we can discover from these thoughts the needs, what people really need from the brand, or what people need from the new product. Maybe you can discover some new inspiration, or maybe you can read from what people say how your brand should look like, or how it should be associated with what in the future. Do you really provide these analyses? Because it seems much more complicated than just reactions to what people say, and if is it good or bad, and how often you mention it.
Yeah, we call it customer insights, and this is one of the major topics in social media monitoring. And this is the data that has a great value, because you have an access to raw opinions about products, and very often people have their own opinions about how to change a product into something better. So you can access the data that from thousands or tens of thousands of people, and this is way better than any R&D unit in the company that has tried the product in so many ways, but they have never tried it as much as tens of thousands of people. So customers' insights are definitely one of the major issues.
Needs qualitative analysis. There are no tools which can say you need to do this.
Jan's tool can say, I guess that.
Not that. I mean, actually.
So when your tool you can say that you should post more naked woman pictures on your Facebook page to get more engagement.
Exactly, yeah, because the most engaging content. Actually, I will never say that such tools will substitute in the newest future traditional market research. It's rather the next stream of data, next source of information, which could be a substitution because it could be faster and quick and cheaper, but not because it will provide you with all the information for the time being. In the future, perhaps.
Just one quick comment at the end. I think there will never be the direct substitution between traditional research and the monitoring of users' opinion on the internet, because the opinions that we collect are actually the people's opinion, and those people who are commenting, they don't know that we collect this data, so they are behaving more natural than if we send a researcher to them and ask the question, do you like this product, tell me why not? So I think this is more valuable data than this. So, yeah.
I really agree with what you said.
Thank you.
It's very substantial. The data is complex, but we are just approaching to the end of our discussion, and I really wonder, how do you see what are the challenges before social media monitoring and analyzing, especially bearing in mind
moving of all internet to mobile and personalization of the internet and social media, growing privacy awareness of people. And what are the challenges?
So I would say, from our perspective, from my perspective, the biggest challenge in the future for my business, for instance, would be the filtering of data, because the amount of data is growing like exponentially, and if you want to really analyze those data, so probably in a couple of few years, you wouldn't be able, even with the whole floor of people, you wouldn't be able to analyze all the data that you collect. So you have to have really cool tool that does the preliminary analysis for you, and leaves only the relevant data. Then you post-process the data that were left. So filtering the data is the one thing, and the second thing is the time. I mean, okay, you can provide the data from Twitter or Facebook within 5 to 10 minutes, but try to do the same with blogs and forums. Like, let's say that you can promise that every comment from blog or forum that we monitor will be in this tool within 10 to 15 minutes. This is the challenge for me as well.
I think the biggest challenge for the industry right now would be consolidation and standardization, because in the last years we have many new businesses showing up, and right now there's the consolidation started with recent acquisition of Buddy Media by Salesforce, and also before of Radiant 6 also by Salesforce, and some other acquisition being in progress. That means that we have some big players instead of many smaller players, but that also means that we'll have some standards. And as we know, the best thing in standards is that you can have your own. But the second problem with standards is that sometimes it's not the best quality standard that wins. Sometimes it's different.
In my opinion, the one of the major challenges we face is the privacy issue, and the feeling I get from the people when I tell about the social media monitoring, and that their opinions are aggregated via a tool and they are sent to a company. The people doesn't necessarily understand the value for them in it. They think that the companies will use it in mean ways, that they will sue them if they say something bad, or they will spy on them or whatever. But in our experience, which is quite modest, but it's only 6 months, there has been no negative use case for social media monitoring. There has never been a case of a company trying to sue some internet user for something he did. So people have to understand that social media monitoring tools are their friends, and through them companies can access their problems and solve them.
But maybe we can leave this discussion for later. If you have one or two more questions, we have 1 minute left. No, thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much.